Nation, let's get it. Yo, salute to everybody here in the building, man. Welcome to the latest installment of Coffee and Convo. I am your host, Graphk Raider, man. Salute to everybody here in the building. I appreciate you guys. As always, you could be anywhere in the world, but you chose to be right here with me in this very moment, man. Salute to everybody. Wipe them feet, meaning hit them thumbs up. Also, hit that subscribe button if you are not subscribed yet, man. Bittersweet live, you guys. This is pretty much the last live. Well, we're doing the game tomorrow, but this is the last live leading up to our last game. It kind of sucks, man. It's been a hell of a season, you know, for the brand, for OLV. It's been a hell of a brand for Shieldmore, a hell of a year for the brand of Shieldmore. The growth because of you guys, man. Without you guys, none of it's even possible at all, man. And just knowing that our season is ending tomorrow, man, it really does suck, man. But hey, we got to talk about it. This is the show where we're supposed to break down the Raiders and Broncos, matchup tomorrow at Allegiant Stadium. But I have a feeling this is going to turn into the AP and Harbaugh show, and I'm cool with that. Whatever you guys want to talk about, we will talk about. But there's a lot of question marks surrounding certain talent on this team, certain coaches on this team. This may be the last weekend that we see a lot of these guys, you know, on this roster. We know Meek is a free agent. He may move on. You know what I'm saying? We know that Josh Jacobs, you know, he is not playing tomorrow. He is not playing tomorrow. We'll go over the injury report here soon. But we may not be able to see him in a Raiders jersey ever again. You know what I'm saying? He's a free agent. We know about Hunter Renfro's contract and the production not matching up. I'm almost positive that we'll probably never see Hunter Renfro again in a Raiders jersey, man. So just a lot of stuff going on that I want to talk about today, man. Salute. I see Mondo, man, with that content. Salute to Top Beats, the end of the season, man. I know it kind of sucks. Salute to M Raider. We're definitely going to talk about Frank Smith as a candidate, brother. We're going to talk about a few different candidates here shortly. I'm going to try and break down this game as much as possible, even though I know a lot of people look at it as it's not a meaningful game. Well, it is a meaningful game. We play the Broncos at home, AFC West division rival. I think we beat them 7 times in a row. We have owned them as of late. It's a very much a meaningful game for us. This is the Broncos, you guys. You know, I understand if we were facing an NFC East team, or it could even have been another AFC team that's not in the AFC West. This is the Broncos we're talking about here, you guys. And we have a guy that is a former Raider out there at QB1 for the Denver Broncos that we do not want this guy to leave on a high note. You know what I'm saying? Last year, he ended up losing 2 games, went 0-2 on the way out. We do not want him to be 2-0 this time around under Sean Payton going out. He beat the Chargers last week, and he definitely has an opportunity to beat us and give Sean Payton a lot to think about in terms of the QB1 spot for the Denver Broncos next year. So, this has to be one more kick in the ass to Josh McDaniels on the way out. We got to go out there and beat the Denver Broncos, and we have to beat Jarrett Stidham, the guy that he decided to bring in and then decided to let walk. We got to go out on a positive note at home. I know our fans are going to be out there. Salute to Hammer. He's out there right now. I know a lot of people went out there to Vegas for this one last weekend to see our team play. It's going to be a long off season, you guys. We're going to have a lot of free agency talk, a lot of draft talk. But for now, I want to talk about this game. Let me see. Salute to Mateo on a $5 donation. The many questions we have about AP and Harbaugh is already answered over and over. Do we really want to face Reed, Peyton, and JH twice a year? And Mateo, we talked about this a million times already, brother. You already know. You guys know where I stand with this. I'm cool with either one of them. I love what, the identity, that AP has brought back to our franchise, back to our organization. But I also love the thought of bringing in a proven winner like Jim Harbaugh, a guy that's won at every stop in his coaching career. So either way, I'm cool with it. Like I said, we'll talk a little bit about Harbaugh and AP, but I definitely do not want to turn this into the Harbaugh and AP show. It kind of reminds me of when we moved on from DC, right? Every show after that for months was about DC. You know what I'm saying? And I know it comes with content, right? It comes with the content. I get it. It comes with the space. But I do want to, give Josh Jacobs his flowers. I want to talk about him. I want to talk about Hunter Renfrow. And, I know he's had, a down 2 seasons, but, at one point, Hunter Renfrow was a major part of this team, a major part of the offense. You know what I mean? And we're moving on from 2 major factors of this offense in the offseason, potentially. So, but yeah, salute to Caleb. Graphk, could we have Harbaugh as a head coach and AP as an assistant? I kind of talked about this, Kayla, before. I don't know why AP wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? Because there's not going to be a ton of teams lining up for his services as a head coach. There's a lot of more proven guys that have proven track records out there that are going to find jobs before AP. I think this Raider job, it's like the Rich Bisaccia effect, right? It's Raiders or nothing. You know what I'm saying? And why would AP not want to have a job just because it's not the head coaching position? So I definitely believe that AP would stay with the Raiders organization regardless. But if Jim Harbaugh comes in and takes over this team, will Jim Harbaugh want him to be a part of it? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying this. He's going to bring in his own staff. He'll bring in his own offensive coordinator. He'll bring in his own defensive coordinator. I don't know if Champ's going to be there, but I'm telling y'all now, if Harbaugh is the guy, I'm expecting Ed Dodds, the assistant GM out there with the Indianapolis Colts, to be the guy. He interviewed with us, 2 years ago, and former Raider guy as well. Mark loves him. I can see him bringing him in to be the GM just so they have that 1-2 punch with Jim Harbaugh and Ed Dodds. But I don't know. I can't really answer that question at this point, but I would say this. At the end of the day, if AP wants to continue to be in the NFL as a coach and he wants to continue to build a portfolio, continue to build a resume, I would assume that he would take a job with the Raiders to help build that up. You know what I mean? So salute to Kayla on the $2 donation. Yeah, Brave. Well, this is the thing. He technically really didn't interview with them. I know that he has spoken with them, right? I mean, don't quote me on it. You could be right, Brave. You could be right, Rick. But from what I thought was, the Commanders actually have had discussions with him. You know what I'm saying? He's actually met with, the owners over there, and they've had a conversation. But look, I'm going to tell you one thing. AP may not be highly sought out in the offseason, but Champ Kelly is. Champ Kelly is. If we lose Champ Kelly, he's going to find a job elsewhere pretty quick. Whether it's the Commanders, whether it's the Carolina Panthers, I'm hearing that they're about to clean house over there and they're going to let go of their general manager. Atlanta may, redo some things down there. I know that they're thinking about moving on from their head coach. So, I don't know what they got going on, but Champ is not going to have a hard time finding a job at all. Now, AP, on the other hand, may, because the thing that sucks about this is the perfect job for AP. The perfect job. You know what I'm saying? It's literally the perfect job. And anywhere else, I just don't see it happening. You know what I mean? So I think that AP is looking at this as head coach or bust with the Raiders. And if not, maybe he jumps on with Harbaugh, whoever is the next head coach with their staff, to appease the players. Help Mark Davis save face with the fan base as well, because there's going to be a lot of people, you guys, up in arms if Mark doesn't bring AP back. And I understand completely. I get it, because when Josh McDaniels left, this team was, it was ugly, it was nasty, and AP helped immediately turn this thing around. Yeah, we lost a ton of games, 4 games, right? He's 4-4 as a head coach, but Kansas City, the first time we played them really well. We were up on them at one point, 14-0. The Miami Dolphins, we played them really well. Minnesota, we lost 3-0. You know what I'm saying? The offense couldn't get anything going, but every game has been pretty close under AP. So, at the end of the day, man, does AP deserve this job? Yes. But it's like this. If there's somebody that comes in, if I'm the guy and I'm coming in to, say that I deserve the job because I've had the job. You know what I mean? Like, look, I deserve a raise. I deserve to take that interim tag off me. And then a guy from Harvard steps in and he's overqualified. He has way more, he's way more qualified than me. Mark has something to think about. You know what I mean? And with Jim Harbaugh, we've talked about all the accolades, 3 NFC championships straight, a Super Bowl, national championship with the Michigan Wolverines. He helped turn around that program at Stanford. You know what I mean? This guy's won at every stop. So, I don't want to talk about this completely the entire show, but this is a great problem to have, you guys. This is a great, great problem to have at this point. You have AP who fits what we're doing. The players love him. Max, Devontae, they're all screaming to keep him in the building. And then you have a guy like Jim Harbaugh that if we do hire him and we move on from AP, Devontae and Max aren't going to be mad because they understand what he has done at every level of the game. So, we're in a really, really good situation. Whether it's AP or it's Jim Harbaugh, either way, it's a win for me. 1A, 1B. Simple and plain. Salute to everybody here in the building. Wipe them feet, y'all. Hit them thumbs up. If you are not subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let me see. Jesus, that's cap. That's cap. You can't say that. We don't know. You can't say that. We don't know. We have not seen him, at the NFL level in a long time. You can't say that his expiration date and the NFL is evolving. Guess what, Jesus? This guy is actually coaching the next guys that are coming into the NFL. So I want to ask you this. How can the game pass him up when he's actually coaching the college guys that are coming into the NFL? Make that make sense, King. Make that make sense, King. He's actually coaching and grooming the next talent to go to the next level. I think he knows what he's doing. Salute to Lucky King. I was just watching a video from Rich Eisen's show, and Adam Schefter said that he can see Jim Harbaugh going to LA to coach Justin Herbert. Now, I said this the other day, Lucky, and I tweeted this. Maybe I'm on my own island with this. I don't think that that's true. I don't think that that's true, Lucky. I mean, look, they are in salary cap hell. Salary cap hell in LA. They're like fucking $30-40 million over the cap, right? They got to move on from some contracts. They have to fill in a lot of different positions, with not a lot of money at their disposal. You know what I'm saying? The LA taxes are insane. You know what I mean? Harbaugh would stand to make way more money going to Las Vegas, no state tax. And also his wife is from the area. We've already talked about that a million times. And also with Herbert, who's to say that Jim Harbaugh likes the guy? Who's to say that he thinks that that's the guy that he wants to go? Maybe he says this is a perfect situation with the Raiders because I get to go pick my guy. I get to go pick my guy and I get to groom him for the next 10 years and hope that he takes me to a championship. Who's to say he's that high on Justin Herbert? I know a lot of people love Herbert, you know what I'm saying? But realistically, you guys, he has not done anything at the NFL level. Yes, I mean, he shows week in and week out what he can do talent-wise. But what was the quote that I seen from somebody the other day? I forgot what it was. I think it was on ESPN. They said something along the lines of like he's the most talented loser in the NFL or something like that. You know what I mean? Like the guy has not proven anything at the NFL level. He's not. I mean, yes, he's a hell of a football player, but they have not won a lot of football games with Justin Herbert at the head coach as the QB1. And that could be because of Brandon Staley. It could be because of injuries at the receiver position, O-line, Derwin James in and out of the lineup. I'm just saying, man, who's to say that Harbaugh says that's my guy? I think personally he's going to want to come into Vegas and say, I want my own guy. I want my own guy. So I'm not going to just go off of the Chargers job just because Herbert is there. I don't think that's true. I don't think it's true. Penny says, hire AP. I'm not against it, family. I'm not against it. I'm just going off of track records, going off of resumes. You know what I'm saying? I am okay with AP being our head coach. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay with it. I just feel a lot more comfortable and a lot more relaxed with knowing that Jim Harbaugh will be our coach because of what he has done at every level of the game. Let me see. Salute to M. Raider. New Orleans is even worse off in cap space. Funny enough, it's due to some guy this fan base is very familiar with. And you know, we've been familiar with that situation as well before, M. Raider. You know what I mean? But I mean, year in and year out, it's not because of Derek Carr. New Orleans is always in cap space hell, but they have a magician out there that always finds a way to get back under the cap and to make moves. I mean, he you know, the GM kind of just pushes money back for years to come. But I don't think that it's a DC thing. I think it's a New Orleans thing. I think since they've lost Drew Brees, they've been trying to figure out ways to better their team with mediocre quarterbacks and trying to build a bunch of other stuff around it, and it hasn't worked. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, they have a guy out there in Loomis that always finds a way to get back under the cap. He is a cap guru, but I'm not going to blame DC for their salary cap situation because he's just one part of it. You know what I mean? They have a lot of other contracts they can move on from in New Orleans also to help. I know even DC said, and he said this before in the past, and we know it's like a broken record. He said he'll do whatever it takes if he has to restructure and so on and so forth to help them build that team. You know, he'll do it. So it is what it is. But I'm not here to talk about New Orleans. But and Raider, you are right though. They are in cap space hell down there. Let me see. Rick says Harbaugh should be the choice. Hey man, look, we're gonna be always up and down with this until it happens. Until it happens. You know what I'm saying? This is gonna be the biggest question mark this offseason, the entire offseason, until we figure out who our guy is. And to be real with you guys, we'll see a lot more moving and shaking when Black Monday comes up. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, this Monday, a lot of coaches are going to be relieved of their duties. We're going to start seeing a more, you know, potential offensive coordinators' names being called up, you know, to be head coaches. We're going to see some other guys potentially be offensive coordinators, you know, guys that can be offensive coordinators for us potentially. You know what I mean? So Monday, keep an eye. We're going to do a special on Monday, you guys. We're going to do a show with all the firings in the NFL. And we're going to talk about potential fits with our team. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, Brave, I've been talking about this. I thought he signed his death certificate when he became the coach of the Dallas Cowboys. He's a guy that, to me, with all that talent, there's no reason why he should not be able to win a Super Bowl. If he doesn't win it this year, which I don't think they will, they have no run game out here in Dallas. They have a great defense. You know, they have a good O-line. They have, you know, great weapons on the outside. But if he doesn't do it this year, I think he's out of there. I think they move on from him, and they may give Dan Quinn the job, or they may go get a big name guy. I don't know. Other names may pop up here and there with that Dallas job because it's the Dallas job. Salute to midnight, my people. The Patriot Way chapter coming to a close, but the best chapters have yet to be written. It will be the rookie AP chapter, or will be the turnaround master Jim Harbaugh chapter. Really exciting times either way. I agree with you, brother. I agree with you. I think that we're in for a ride this offseason, whether it's AP or Jim Harbaugh. I think that we're in good hands. Whether it's Champ Kelly or Ed Downs, I think we're in good hands. The good thing is, you guys, every option that we've heard at this point, you know, outside of people trying to feed us John Gruden again, and certain places saying that Bill Belichick will be the guy, lies. I think we're good with Champ or Ed Dobbs. I think we're good with Jim Harbaugh or AP. This is facts. But either way, the Patriot Way is officially coming to a close. Jakob is a free agent. A lot of those guys will be out. Brandon Bolden will be out of here. Hopefully we get rid of Hoyer in the offseason. You know what I'm saying? I think the only guy that will be with us outside of, you know, the guys that they have drafted will be Jacoby Myers, you know, at this point. And we're not moving on from him. He's been great for us. Salute to Midnight on the $20 donation, my brother. Let me see. No, not at all, Anish. Not at all. Not at all. No. Jim Harbaugh is, you know, a former player. He understands that you got to have fun out there. You can't strip the fun from players. At this point, you're taking everything away from them. You know what I mean? Jim Harbaugh, you know, I know a lot of people look at his age and they think that he's just this fucking sergeant, you know what I'm saying, on the sideline. That's not who he is. If you watch a lot of these players, they love playing for Jim Harbaugh. They have fun in the locker room. They have fun on the sidelines. He allows his guys to have fun. You know, McDaniels is just a party pooper, bro. You know what I mean? If you can look at the locker room afterwards, that they look like they lost by 90 when we win. You know what I mean? So no, I don't think that he's a guy like that at all. But if you mean in terms of power tripping, I don't think that either. I think a lot of people are misinformed when it comes to Jim Harbaugh and assuming that he wants all this power and all this other stuff. I personally don't think that that's true. Yeah, the LA hype, in my opinion, is more media driven. Facts, man. You know what I mean? And the media never want to. They don't want to see the Raiders have good things. They don't want to see that. They don't want to see that. You know, we see this year in and year out. Let me see. Yeah, Gordon Willis loved playing for Harbaugh. Facts, man. Facts. And those are two guys that had well, Patrick Willis ended up leaving, you know, a little early, but they had great careers. They had great careers. Two leaders in that locker room that are phenomenal football players that love playing for Harbaugh. That says a lot. That says a lot. If you guys don't know what Rick is talking about, Shady McCoy was on ESPN, I believe, the other day, and he stated that he spoke to those guys and that they love playing for Harbaugh. Yeah, Valley Podcast. This is facts. I agree with you, and say what you want to say about Jimmy G. He's a true professional. Car ran home last year. The thing is this, though, there's a difference between both, though, Valley Podcast. And you know, I don't care what anyone says. I'm not here to beat up DC. That guy was the quarterback for 9-10 years for us. It's a very different situation. You know what I'm saying? I think when Jimmy G was brought in, he was brought in, everyone knows, because of Josh McDaniels, right? And Josh McDaniels is no longer there. AP is the head coach. He brings us in a young guy. I think Jimmy G is very smart enough to understand how things work, you know, at the NFL level. He's lost his job numerous times in the past. You know what I mean? DC never lost his gig. He was always the guy in Oakland or Las Vegas. You know what I mean? So it's a little more difficult for DC to digest losing his job and knowing that he's no longer going to be a Raider compared to Jimmy G just saying, oh, it's cool, and going on the sidelines and cheering on his fan. He's definitely been great, but I think those are two different situations, brother. Salute to Elite. What's good with you, sis? Happy New Year, family. Jose says, do you think Josh Jacobs will be back next year? No, I don't. I do not. But you know what? I can't say that. There's two different situations that are at play here, Jose. If AP's the guy, I think that he will be back. But the problem is Champ. It's up to Champ, because Champ has to say, do I want to pay this guy this amount of money to come back? It's up to him. It's not really up to AP. But I'll tell you one thing, that if AP is the head coach, he's going to fight tooth and nail to make sure that Josh Jacobs is his running back of the future. But if it's Jim Harbaugh, I think that he goes out, drafts a guy, whether it's Corum out there, a guy that he's coached in Michigan, or if it's a Bucky Irvin out there in Oregon, or it's somebody else. But either way, if AP's there, I think there's a good chance, Jose, that he will return. But I don't know yet. I don't know what Champ has in store. If he's the guy, I don't know what he has in store. He may have a different mindset. He may say, let's go get younger at the running back position. And AP's going to have to go along with it, because AP's the head coach. Champ Kelly's the GM, and it is what it is. Frank Gore Jr., I'm seeing a lot of that in the comment section, and I'm not against that, man. Not against that at all. Johnny, I've been said that. I think that JJ fits in Dallas, and I think that one thing with JJ is, if he's not going to be a Raider, it would hurt and it would suck to see him go to Dallas. But it would be great to at least see a guy that, you know, went to bat for us every week, go to a winning program at least, right? I mean, you know, I hate the Cowboys. I live in Dallas. I would hate to see Josh Jacobs out here, you know, wearing the star on him. You know what I'm saying? But it makes all the sense in the world. They need a running back. They may go get a young guy too, though. I don't know. But he's from Tulsa. I think it's the closest NFL team to his hometown. Tulsa's not far at all from Dallas. You know what I mean? So it just makes all the sense in the world that if he does move on, Dallas needs a running back. It's close to home. He's familiar with the area. You know, is what it is. Salute to my guy Joe on a $5 donation. Things seem to be trending in the Harbaugh direction. If he helps the Raiders win, then I don't give a fuck. Hope AP gets a shot in the league one day, though. Facts. Facts, Joe. Facts. I'm sorry, you guys. I've said this before. If Harbaugh is a realistic option, I think that Mark Davis is not going to hesitate to pull the trigger, and he's going to say, you're my guy. Tom Brady's there. He's leaning on Tom Brady heavy. Brady's a Michigan guy. He knows what Harbaugh has done at the NFL level and the collegiate level. Who knows Jim Harbaugh better than Tom Brady, you know, within the guys that are in the building, you know, gearing and directing Mark Davis through, this whole thing. So that's why I want to talk to C Wood, man. That's why I wish I was out there in Vegas this weekend. It sucks because Hammer's out there. He's actually going to C Wood's event in the next few hours, and he's going to talk to him about getting him back on the show. And we definitely want to pick his brain about the AP and Harbaugh situation. But yeah, and I think that Wood would if we move on from AP, I think that Jim Harbaugh would be the guy that Wood would sign off on as well. LT, it looked the exact same. Well, not with Renfro, because Renfro's still under contract. So Andre James is a free agent. Josh Jacobs is a free agent. So either way, our cap remains the same. I think we're about $50 million right now, somewhere around there. Don't quote me on that. But if you move on from Renfro, I think we saved $7 or $8 million. I think it's a $5 million hit, but I think we save $7 or $8 million moving on from Renfro. So you add that, and we're somewhere in the mid 50 range in terms of money and cap. So don't quote me on that though, but I'll look that up. We'll do a show here soon. But actually, I brought it up the other day. I think that he's due $13 million next season. I think that 5 of it is dead cap. So you can save roughly around $7-8 million next year moving on from Renfro, whether you trade him or you just cut him all right out. It is what it is. Okay, Ricardo says you saved 8.2. So I knew it was roughly around there somewhere. Thank you, babe. Salute to Raider Nation. Drew, do we extend any players? And if so, who? We did a show about this, Drew, a few weeks ago. Me, Hammer, and Wasted. If we were the GMs, we who we would keep and who we would move on from. These are some of the guys that are free agents here. And to be honest with you, this is a great year to not have to pay your own guys because a lot of these names are not that big. But Josh Jacobs, if you keep him, me personally, it has to be somewhere around $6.5 to $8 million a year. That's what I am paying for. Me personally, if I'm the GM. Bilal Nichols moving on from him. Andre James moving on from him. Jermaine Illuminor, I'd move on from him as well. But if he would come back on another 1 year, 2 year deal for the cheap, just to be like a backup, I would be cool with that. But I think Loom is going to get some money to go elsewhere. Austin Hooper, I'm moving on from. Amir Abdullah, I let him walk. He's getting up there in age. Greg Van Rotten, moving on. Adam Butler, a name, I think he's 29, 30 years old. He'd be inexpensive to bring back. I'd bring back Adam Butler. He's been a good piece for us on that D-line, and he wouldn't cost a lot of money. Excuse me. DeAndre Carter, let him walk. John Jenkins is getting up there in age. He's been a blessing in disguise for us as well, but you got to get young at the defensive tackle position. I'm moving on from John Jenkins, and we still have a few young guys that we drafted. We don't know what we're doing with Nesta Jade. We don't know what we have in Byron Young yet. We got Matthew Butler still too. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Jesper Horsted, I would move on. Brandon Parker, definitely moving on. Jakob moving on. Curtis Bolton, I don't know what they think of him moving forward. If AP is the guy, he's a former linebacker. Maybe he brings back Bolton on a 1 year deal. I don't know, but I'd move on. And then Amik. Amik is a guy that I'm looking at and saying, maybe sign him to a 2 year deal. I know that some people hate him. Some people love him. He's a boomer bust type guy, but I would look at giving him maybe a two year deal. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if there's going to be a million teams, lining up at Amik's doorstep saying, we want your services and we're down to give you a 4 year deal or some shit like that. But I can see him coming back on an inexpensive, maybe 2 year deal. Isaiah Palamau, I'm not ready to move on from him at all. I love the measurables. He has everything that I think it takes to be that guy at the next level at the safety position. I'm definitely knocking on his door, and it's not going to cost a lot. There's not a lot of tape on him. He's been pretty good for us also with special teams. You know what I'm saying? So I'm bringing Isaiah Palamau back. That won't cost anything. And then Jordan Meredith, a guy that's been off our practice squad, on our practice squad, on the active roster, off the active roster. I would move on from him and upgrade also. So there's not a lot of names that we need to bring back. Like the only necessity would be, Josh Jacobs, because we need another running back. I don't, Amik, do you have to have him back? No, you don't really have to have him back. We just drafted, Jacorian Bennett. We got a few other guys on this team. This is a deep corner class. You can go get another guy and take a Meek's job immediately. You know what I mean? So let me see. A lot of people says I'm done with the Meek. Johnny, he still has 1 more year left on his deal. So technically, you don't really have to revamp his contract. But I would take care of him. But I'm going to be real with you. At the end of this season, he kind of tailed off. Still been a hell of a player for us. Hell of a ball player for us. Don't get me wrong. But the beginning of the season was all those splash plays, the picks, you know what I mean? And the sack. Whatever he did at the beginning of the season, it kind of tailed off at the end of the season. But let me ask you guys this. Do you just have Spillane play that 1 more year off his deal? I think it's like $1.8 million, somewhere around there. It's very inexpensive. Or do you extend him this offseason? You technically don't have to. You can just keep him under contract. Marcus Epps, I believe, signed a 2-year deal. He's still under contract, you guys. He has 1 more year left on his deal. And then also Jack Jones is only on his 2nd year in his rookie deal. So he still has 2 more years left too. So we don't have to revamp his contract at all. And to be real, I want to see Jack Jones do this more often. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's look, man, it's the AP effect. It's like, oh shit, we got something here. I want to see Jack do that more often. Yeah, he had a couple good big games for us. Yeah, you return to you. First of all, you get off a team that you've been wanting to leave for a while with the Patriots, and then you return to a guy with AP that you've known since you were a kid. So I want to see if this excitement ends up just dissolving and he just becomes a regular ass player. You know what I mean? Like, continue to let Jack Jones play that rookie deal, and let's see if he can continue upwards on his trajectory in his career. You know what I'm saying? But you don't have to give him any more money. You know what I mean? Spillane has 1 more year. I would definitely extend him, keep him under contract. I think he wants to be a Raider. He said it numerous times. He loves being a Raider. He loves, a lot of his teammates. Spillane is a guy that I would definitely bring back. Harbaugh will run a Raven style of defense. And I'm cool with that. Year in and year out, Baltimore has a great, phenomenal defense. They always hang their hats on their defense. And also, Rick, they run the football a lot. Run first team. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what wins championships. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be able to have a ground game and you have to be able to play defense. There's a reason why Baltimore has been so successful with Jim's brother there and with Lamar Jackson there, a guy that runs the ball a lot and then that opens up the pass. Yeah, Tim, Michigan's defense is good too. You can't name a team that Jim has coached where the defense wasn't good. I mean, maybe I can go back to a few those Stanford teams. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'd have to go do some homework on that. But these Michigan teams, they always have great defenses. The Niners, they always had great defenses under Jim Harbaugh. Harbaugh, man, he knows how to build a team. Let me see. Salute to everybody here in the building. And for those who didn't see the final injury report, real quick, I'm going to go over this for tomorrow's game. Max Crosby will play once again all year long. He was limited with that knee injury. He's good to go. Jermaine Illuminor had the knee injury. He was limited in practice all week long. He's good to go. Josh Jacobs has officially been ruled out. He did not participate in practice at all week long with that quad injury. Andre James will be playing. So with that ankle and finger injury, he was limited Wednesday, full participant Thursday and Friday. He will be out there. Jakob is questionable. He was limited in practice all week long with that back injury. Malcolm Kuntz is good to go, you guys. He was a full participant Thursday, Friday with the elbow/wrist injury, but he's good to go. So it's great that we get one more look at Malcolm Kuntz before he goes into the last year of his deal next year. He's been a blessing in disguise for us. Also, Michael Mayer, once again, with that toe injury. I knew it once he went out. Once they said he had a toe injury a few weeks back, I already knew his season was over. But he's out. He will not be playing. Colton Miller, full participant Thursday, Friday. He's good to go. It looks as though he will be starting at left tackle, which is great because Thayer Munford is doubtful and did not participate at all week long with that knee injury, and he's dealing with the undisclosed illness. So it looks as though Colton will be at left, Illuminor will be back at right tackle, and then Brandon Faison is questionable. He did not participate Friday, but he did Thursday and Wednesday. He's dealing with the illness. And then everybody on the Broncos side, it looks as though they are pretty much good to go outside of, Chris Manhertz, their tight end. He's dealing with the illness. He's out. Mike McGlinchey with that rib injury, he did not participate all week long. He is officially out. And then most of these other guys were full participants. Samaje Perine, Baron Browning, Josie Jewell. Was it Josie Jewell? Marvin Mims Jr. is dealing with the hamstring. He's a full participant. It looks like they're all good to go. Cortland Sutton dealing with a concussion. He was a full participant. He's unspecified at this point, but I think that he's good to go. Riley Dixon, their punter, personal reasons did not participate all week long, but I think he's going to play. And yeah, there you have it. That's pretty much what's at stake for tomorrow's game, you guys. That is the updated injury report. Salute to my brother in the building. Salute to my brother, Wasted Talent, man. Salute to Mr. Rogers. Do you think having to pay Harbaugh $20+ million compared to under $10 million for AP will influence Mark Davis's decision? No, not at all. Mr. Rogers, this is the thing. And I think a lot of people will agree with me. If you invest, let's just say it was $20+ million, right? Whatever. It's going to be more to bring in Harbaugh than AP. Winning equals more money. So if you have to, take the blow for paying Harbaugh more money to put more asses in seats or to sell more this, to sell more that merch, whatever it is, he'll make up that money signing Jim Harbaugh. So I don't think that plays a major factor at all. And also, Mark Davis has made a lot of money since being in Vegas, a shit ton of money. He's one of the richest organizations in NFL now. This isn't an Oakland type situation where you have to bring in these low level name guys and turn them into head coaches because you can't afford to pay big guys. Mark has the funds now. And if he brings in Jim Harbaugh, I think he ends up making that money and then more even on top of that because of bringing a big name coach. So no, I don't think that affects his decision making at all. He knows he's a smart businessman that bringing in Jim Harbaugh is definitely going to sell a lot more stuff, whether it's suites, whether it's, faces on buildings in Vegas. He'll make up for that money easily. Raider Pace, we're about to screw this off season up, aren't we? Why would you say that? Why would you say that? No, not at all. Why would we mess it up? There's one or two things. You're looking at AP, great. Or you're looking at Jim Harbaugh, great. You're looking at Champ Kelly, great. Or you're looking at Ed Dodds, great. How do you mess up the offseason? We have full draft capital. We have a shit ton of money. Our free agents that we need to bring back, the list is not sexy at all. Like how are we going to mess up this offseason? We have all our draft capital. We have a lot of money. I think that this is going to be a very good offseason. This is going to be one of the biggest offseasons for us because this is one of the offseasons that's going to change things for us. So no, why would we mess up this offseason? I don't think that makes any sense. Salute to Nomad. How soon can a team sign a GM? What do you mean, Nomad? What do you mean? Do you mean in terms of moving on? Look, once the season is over, you can start looking at other options. Monday, that's why they call it Black Monday for a reason. GMs are going to be fired. Coaches will be let go. Offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators, a lot of people are going to be let go, come Monday. So I'm assuming that would be the time when you can start bringing people in for interviews, as long as you make sure you do the Rooney Rule and all that other stuff. You can start looking at other people once the season is up. So Monday, you're going to see a lot of things going on, Nomad. Salute to my guy on a $2 donation. Salute to my guy, Q Rocks. As always, say we sign Harbaugh. What do you think his time frame is, considering his age and all? I think that this is going to be a guy, look, man, what is he? Rocks, he's like 60, somewhere around 60 years old, something like that. He has a long time, man. This is a guy that's going to get, if Josh McDaniels gets 4 years, Gruden gets 10 years, I'm assuming that Jim Harbaugh is going to get somewhere between that 5 to 10 years type contract. So, he's going to have a nice time frame. This is not a guy we're going to come in and he'll be the coach for a year or two, unless he just absolutely shits the bed and we go 0-17 or some shit back-to-back years. Then he's out of there. But if you're talking about his contract, he's going to get a nice contract because there's no way in hell he's going to leave Michigan, a program that he helped build and that they're having a lot of success with, to move on to the NFL to sign a 2 or 3 year deal. I think this is going to be a guy that's going to get a major deal at the NFL level. Salute to Q Rocks. Salute to my guy Midnight once again, my brother. We talk about AP born to be a Raider, but if you think about it, Jim Harbaugh personifies a Raider, also including bending the rules. Remember, was trained by the Raider Godfather in the beginning. Best case scenario, keep AP on the staff. Yeah, and you know, I said this yesterday, you guys. You know, everybody, oh man, AP is a real Raider, and this on. Ooh, yeah, he definitely is, man. You know, I didn't know that he was born a Raider fan until recently, but that's beautiful. I mean, but can we forget this? Like, this is Jim Harbaugh, you guys. This is Jim Harbaugh. The GOAT gave him a chance. He started his coaching career with the GOAT, Al Davis. Like, once a Raider, always a Raider, right? Like, I mean, at the end of the day, this guy is a Raider too. He's a Raider too. I mean, you know, we can. There's certain names, AB, yeah, Jamarcus, yeah, Randy Moss, yes. You know, there's certain names, Trent Brown, that you can take off that list. Harbaugh never left on bad terms. He never left on bad terms. He was once a Raider, so he should always be a Raider. I don't like that argument, Midnight. I hate seeing people say shit like AP's a Raider and Jim Harbaugh is not a Raider. I've seen that a million times. It's just weird to me. It's like, bro, like, to be real with you, Harbaugh has more experience. Well, they damn near have the same amount of experience on this coaching staff. You know what I'm saying? AP was the linebackers coach last year, and then he was the head coach, you know, eight weeks this year. I mean, they damn near have the same track record as coaching. Right. I think Harbaugh was only there for like a year. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 2 years tops. I could be wrong. I got to go back and look. But once a Raider, always a Raider. They're both Raiders. So you can't lose with this. If that is what everyone's argument is, he's a Raider through and through. Well, I mean, shit, we're bringing a guy back that started his. I mean, how does it come any more better full circle than that? That's full circle. That's full circle. A guy that started his career here, and that if he signs a deal with us, is probably going to end his career here. It's a great story. People love storylines, right? I don't think it gets really any better than these two storylines that we have. AP ends up being the intern and takes over the job and leads us to the promised land. Or Jim Harbaugh started his career, you know, as a quarterbacks coach under Al Davis, and next thing you know, he comes back and he wins the Raiders a Super Bowl. Either way, great storylines from both sides. Salute to my guy Midnight on the $20 donation. As always, I appreciate you, my brother. Yeah, we're in a win-win situation, Rich. And not even just the coaching situation. I've already went over it a shit ton of times. Salary cap wise, we have a lot of money, right? Draft capital wise, we have a lot of draft capital. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a perfect off season for whether it's Harbaugh or AP to build this team for the future. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I love it. I love it. Yeah, you guys you're hearing my dog back here drinking water. This isn't a cult. Let's hire the guy who can get us back into the playoffs. Rick L. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. And I think personally, you know, when you bring in Jim Harbaugh, a guy that's been there consistently, I think that you expect that, right? Let's be real here, you guys. Let's go over expectations real quick, okay? If you bring in AP and he's the guy next year, I think the expectations are not going to be through the roof. It's going to be, let's see what this guy can do with the full off season, how he's going to build this team, and so on and so forth, right? Yeah, man, he can go out there and maybe get us to the playoffs. That'd be great. But the expectations are not going to be as high as, say, you bring in a Jim Harbaugh. You bring in a Jim Harbaugh as, oh, shit, we're supposed to win a playoff game year one. This is a guy that went to 3 straight NFC championships and went to a Super Bowl to face his brother. Like, the expectations are different in my mind, at least. I'm not trying to push that narrative off on you guys, but I'm just saying that expectations with Jim Harbaugh are up here. You bring in AP, it's a little bit less. You know what I'm saying? You raise the bar with Harbaugh as the head coach. With AP is, let's give him a little more time, you guys. He only had 8-9 games last year. He finally got the intern, took off. Let him have some time to figure out the OC problem and the coach in the quarterback situation, right? And this and that. But Jim is like, oh, shit, bro. You getting paid a shit ton of money. You better come in and win now. And I don't know about you guys, but as a 40-year Raider fan, I want to win now. I don't really have too much time to sit back and say, I'm going to be 40 years old, shit, in 8 days, 9 days. I'm ready to win now. And if I'm going to hire a coach, I'd rather hire the one that has the ceiling up here, and I'm expecting a lot year one. You know, even with AP. I'm not expecting this team to just turn everything around in the offseason. It's going to take some time. This guy has only coached 9 games now, including tomorrow's game in the NFL as a head coach. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some time. You know what I mean? So, you bring in Jim, I expect results immediately. You bring in AP, I'm going to be a little more, a little more patient. And I'm going to say, you know what, allow him a little bit more time to figure this thing out. So either way, I'm okay with it. Either way, I'm okay with it. It's just, I personally would rather win now. Ghost. There's so many options, man. This is the best problem to have also. Like, this is the thing. I don't think that anybody has thought about the Raiders offseason is great. We've never had an offseason that looks this great ever because of all the options. You know what I'm saying? People didn't want to move on from Derek Carr for so long because everybody looked at the options. It was like, oh, shit. Do you want to move on from him and bring in this guy? Do you want to bring in this guy? Well, guess what? We don't have to worry about that. Jimmy G's not the guy. He lost his job to a first-year guy. We all look we see what Aiden O'Connell looked like. He's not the guy, at least up to this point. And then you look at this draft class. It is deep at the quarterback position. You're looking at potentially 6-7 franchise quarterbacks. You know what I mean? And there may be some other guys that come out of left field and become one. Cam Ward. I'm just saying, we don't know. We don't know, but there's a shit ton of quarterbacks, and then look at free agency. Maybe Harbaugh says, I'm drafting a guy early, and I'm going to bring in Russell Wilson. I'm bringing in Russell Wilson. Or there's a Kirk Cousins out there that's been who's won a ton of games in the NFL. I'm just saying, I don't want that. I'd rather go get a young guy. But I'm just saying, there's so many options. There's so many options right now. You know what I mean? So look. This is an exciting time to be a Raider fan, you guys. Yes, we're officially eliminated from playoffs because of last week's loss to the Colts. Even if we did win, it would have been very slim chances that we would have snuck into the play. We needed so much help. But look, even then, Rick, the Baker Mayfields of the world, he resurgent out there in Tampa Bay. You never know who's available. This is a great problem to have, needing a quarterback in this draft class and this free agency, and needing a coach when you have potentially Jim Harbaugh and AP as the guys to be the guy. Let me see. If Harbaugh comes here, Mumford is moving to guard. Okay, Reed. Either way, I'm cool with it. I love what Mumford has looked like this year. Salute to Lamelli. Salute, Graphk. Keep doing what you're doing, big guy. Best show on YouTube. Hope you and your family are doing great. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much, Lamelli. That means a lot to me, King. Thank you so much, my brother. I know you've been around for a long time. I appreciate your support, man. Let me see. Keep AP. We need a mobile, great quarterback in our division alone. Wait, keep AP. We need a mobile, great quarterback in our division alone. I mean, Vega, look, bro, you keep AP, the same options are still out there. You know what I mean? I just don't know what AP would want versus what Jim Harbaugh would want. You know what I mean? But if you personally want a mobile quarterback, a great mobile quarterback, this is a great problem to have in this offseason. TWV, not a lot at all. You know what I mean? Look, that's why I have not beaten up the kid. You know, yes, he may not be the guy moving forward, but to be honest with you, man, to see him, being just thrusted to QB1 because of the Jimmy G situation and Josh being fired and Zeke being let go, I can't be mad at Aiden O'Connell, man. I can't. You know what I mean? I can't. I'm excited to see his development this offseason as well, whether it's a backup or starter. I want to see him with the full offseason in a full competition, because even this offseason, you guys, Josh McDaniels didn't think that Aiden O'Connell was going to be the guy. You know what I mean? So there was no true, real competition. It was Jimmy G's job. You know what I mean? So I want to see what Aiden looks like this offseason with more, with more fire up under his ass. You know what I'm saying? So to speak. Salute the pace, my guy. I don't think we will, but I'm just nervous because the direction we're going and our options seems to be too good to be true. And I, like you, I want success now. Well, I mean, look, this wasn't a great season pace by any stretch, but I don't think that we should go into this offseason with our heads down. You know what I'm saying? We could potentially win 8 games. You know what I'm saying? 8, 9. I mean, that's not great. I mean, it's middle of the barrel type, success. But at the end of the day, with all the shit that we dealt with this year, with all the shit, losing your GM, losing your head coach, moving on from your starting quarterback in the offseason and all the other stuff that happened, Josh Jacobs getting hurt, missing some games and all this other stuff, for us to be potentially 8-9, hey man, I can't be mad about this. Shit could have went left way worse than what it did this season. For us to even be where we are now is low-key a victory. You know what I'm saying? So, but man, just hold your head high, brother Pace. I'm telling you, this offseason is going to be great. We're going to be excited. There's going to be a lot to talk about this offseason in terms of the draft, free agency, coaching, all that. Stick around, brother. Salute to Pace, man. Salute to my guy Raider for life also. Imagine what Harbaugh would do with someone like Justin Fields. Look what he did with Cap or Penix. I'm telling you, for life. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. That's why, man, Justin Fields is still very much an option unless Chicago keeps him around. And I think the Chicago, man, I just don't know how you pass up on a talent like Caleb Williams and also at least pass up on a talent. Justin Fields is going to be paid $40+ million in 2 years. You know what I'm saying? So I just think it's too much there for Chicago to pass up on a Caleb Williams on a 4-year, 5-year, potentially with the 50-year option on a rookie deal. You know what I mean? So I think Justin Fields will be definitely in play. And once again, Champ Kelly, familiar with Chicago. Jim Harbaugh, very much familiar with Chicago. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, stick around, man. Look, I think Harbaugh would do a lot of work with Justin Fields, man. Salute to my guy, 1970. Let me see. Salute to everybody in the building. Wipe them feet, y'all. Hit them thumbs up. If you're not subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button. He says that. Oh, okay, let me see, Albert. I like this question. Devil May Stride. Appreciate you, family. If it was a package deal, are you taking AP and Penix, or AP and Penix or Daniels, or Harbaugh or McCarthy? That's tough, man. That's tough because I like both those other quarterbacks better than I like JJ McCarthy. But I like the idea of Jim Harbaugh more than I like AP. So it's tough. And we can't just assume that he's going to take JJ McCarthy because he was the guy. I mean, like I've said that a few times. Even I'm like, he may take McCarthy just because of the Michigan connection. But who's to say that Harbaugh's like, shit, I love Jaden Daniels. I love Michael Penix Jr. I love one of these other guys. But if I had to pick, I'm going with that. I'm not that big of a fan of JJ McCarthy. I'm just not. I'd probably go AP in Penix or AP and Jaden Daniels. Salute to Albert. Great question. Salute to my brother Intel in the building. I'd still take May over Williams. Hey, man, people are really forgetting about Drake May, Intel. Real talk. They're forgetting about him, man. The young pup out of North Carolina. He still will be a top 2 pick regardless of anything. I'm telling you right now, even if New England ends up going up to number 1, don't be shocked, you guys, if they take Drake May. Don't be shocked. A lot of teams are going to come out the woodworks, and you're going to see this a lot, valuing Drake May over Caleb Williams. I'm telling y'all now. I've always loved the game that Drake May had. I always had them kind of 1A, 1B. I just feel like personally, I think Caleb Williams fits the Raider mold more than a Drake May. I think Drake May would go to New England and be successful. That would be like the next guy for them. Like he would be the guy that would help them, be a perennial playoff team down the line. You know what I'm saying? I just think Caleb Williams is a better fit for us. Let me see. No, not at all, Top. Not at all, brother. Not at all. I don't think it had anything to do with evaluating him. I don't think so. I think that they've gotten enough evaluation. They've watched him for 8 weeks. Tomorrow being the 9th. I don't think in any way were they just sitting out there evaluating him. I think that they're evaluating everything, not just AP. I think they're looking at, what's more important, Top, right now than just going out there and evaluating AP at practice? It's evaluating the players. It's evaluating the body language. It's evaluating, okay, Meek's about to be a free agent. What do you guys think about bringing him back? Do we pay Josh Jacobs? They're looking at these guys that potentially are going to move on, the Jermaine Illuminors of the world, and they're watching them very close and saying, should we bring them back? You know what I mean? I think that they're evaluating, the players more than they are the head coach. Me personally, I think that they're sitting out there and they're evaluating everything, but I think they're looking at the players because it's the last chance. Yesterday was the last practice that we held for this season, you guys. You know what I mean? So it's the last real chance that you get to take a look at even some of the players that are practice squad guys or players that really don't get that much burn at the NFL level and looking at them and saying, okay, do we have something there? You know what I mean? I don't think it was too much about just AP. I think it was a lot more about the players. Raider for life. If Graham leaves, Harbaugh plus AP, I would love that. I would love that because at that point, right, Raider for life, in which I still think Graham is going to stick around. But either way, AP gets a raise. He gets a raise. AP is getting paid right now like a linebackers coach because he's the interim head coach. So either way, it's still a better job. Hey, you know what, AP, we're going to keep you around. We'll make you the defense coordinator. But 1970, I don't think that Jim Harbaugh brings him back at that type of capacity. I think he goes out and gets his own guy. I do. I don't see him keeping AP as a defensive coordinator. He may even bring his homie over from Michigan. You know what I mean? Like great defensive mind. Got those young guys playing at a very high level. I could see Harbaugh bringing his defensive coordinator over from Michigan. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Who's to say? I don't know what's in Harbaugh's mind right now. I don't know. I don't know what's in AP's mind. AP could say, I'm gonna go take a year off and just go relax somewhere if this isn't my job. I don't know what the hell going on, you know what I'm saying, in terms of both of those guys. Let me see. Oh, Keith, and that's another thing. That's another thing. A big advantage with Harbaugh in the draft. I love that Keith England brought that up. Hell of a comment right there. Very familiar with a lot of this talent. He played against a lot of that talent, top talent at Michigan. And also, previously he's drafted, he's had his hands in some Niners drafts in the past. So definitely agree with you on that. Definitely. He knows a lot of these young guys, their strengths, their weaknesses, especially those early round guys that we've been struggling to draft, you guys. We have not been able to draft at a high level consistently in that first, second round. Well, guess what? That high-end talent, Harbaugh has probably coached against them, scouted against them. Definitely a great comment from Keith England, man. Appreciate you, brother. Raider Nation Drew says, would Harbaugh keep or trade Adams? You're keeping him. I don't think a guy would come in, and this isn't a John Gruden type situation where he comes in and you just move on from Amari Cooper, right? This is a situation where Harbaugh knows what talent means. I think with Gruden, man, he always just thought it's his way or the highway. I'm so smart. I'm the smartest guy in the room. So whatever move I make, it's going to be the best move. I think Harbaugh knows what Adams means to the Raiders. I think he knows how great of a wide receiver Adams is. You know what I'm saying? I know Harbaugh with, his connection to the Chicago Bears. He's probably seen Devontae carve them up year in and year out while he was a Packer. There's no reason you come in and say, I'm moving on from Devontae unless it helps you go up to get your quarterback. If that's the only way you can move up and you got to get rid of some draft capital and Devontae is a piece that you can use to go get your guy of the future, then maybe. But I don't think that Harbaugh is dumb enough to come into the league instead of come into the NFL and say the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of Devontae Adams. I don't think that's going to happen. Let me see. Salute to everybody here in the building. No, Cap. No way in hell. No way in hell. Do you understand how much Devontae loves this game, you guys? Devontae loves this game. He loves being a Raider. He loves the organization. He loves the team. But he also is a guy that can look around and know what is good, what is bad, what is great, what is ugly. Okay. Devontae's a very smart guy, on and off the field. I think that he understands what Jim Harbaugh brings to the game. I think he knows. Devontae's just like us. He's sitting back saying, proven winner, gotten it done at every stop. Why would he force his way out when you're potentially upgrading the head coach position? Head coaches. And to be real with you guys, you may not want to hear it, but it's an upgrade because there's one guy that's proven and there's one guy that's not. So if you want to force your way out by upgrading the head coach position, see your way out. If that's really what it is, but I don't see that. I think that Devontae knows how great of a coach Jim Harbaugh is, and I think that he'd be excited to play under him. And I think that he would, this is the tail end of his career, you guys. I think he wants to win now. He wants to win as soon as he can, and I think that he also knows in his heart of hearts, I love AP, but I also know that Jim Harbaugh will probably get us winning right immediately. So here's what it is. Cap, I mean, why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he? I mean, what else can he say? What else can he say? You're a leader in the locker room, and you already got the best player on your team, Max Crosby, saying bring AP back. What can he say? I mean, if Tay says nah, what does that make him look like? We don't really know what Devontae really truly feels inside. He may love AP, or he may be like, I love AP, but I want somebody better than him. Period. But he's a leader in the locker room. Like he has to, you have to go out there and say the political answer, keep AP, keep him. Not saying that he doesn't mean it, but I know right now, if Mark Davis pulls Devontae to the side and says, look, we have an opportunity to bring in a guy like Jim Harbaugh. What do you think? Devontae's going to say, do it. So I'm not worried about Devontae Adams. I'm not. He'll be there whether it's Jim Harbaugh or if it's AP. It is what it is. Exactly, Rick. How many teams are pounding at Bisaccia's door? Nobody. Cap, look, bro. Why can't these players be like us? And salute to my guy, Cap. You know I got love for you, but why can't he be like us? Why can't these players? They're human beings too. Why can't they just say, "I'm cool with either one of them"? What's the problem? Like, if you get AP, cool, you're happy. If you get Jim Harbaugh, you should be happy. Like, it's okay. You got listen. This is the thing, man. I hate that we live in this generation. We live in a world where you can't look at two things and say, I'm good with either one of them. I hate that we live in a world where people expect you to just die on this hill. Oh, Graphk, you've been screaming to keep AP since, this win and the Chiefs win. Yes. I love AP. But I also know, so let me ask you guys this. We love AP, right? AP is our guy. Would you rather have AP or Andy Reid right now as your head coach? Would you rather have AP or Andy Reid as your head coach? It's okay. It's okay, bro. It's okay. It is okay. It's all right to look at two beautiful women and say, you are both beautiful. But the one on the left's a little more attractive. But you're both baddies. You're both baddies. That might be a terrible analogy, but it is what it is. What's wrong with saying I'm cool with either one of them? People these days, they want you to die on these hills. And that's why a lot of these YouTube channels, man, and shit, they try and cover the Raiders and stuff. It's like they're so off and on because they have to die on one narrative. They have to die on one. If DC is the guy, well, now he's not. So let me get quiet. Or this guy is the guy. Oh, no, he's not. Now you were proven wrong. So now you're going to get quiet. It's okay. It's okay. It is okay to say I like both options. What's wrong with it? What's wrong with that? What is wrong with that? Don't let anybody make you feel like you can't you can't be okay with either one of them. I'm just saying, man. Payne says a perfect. I'm just saying, y'all both bad, but Shorty over there got a little more ass on it. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah, man. Steve, you're stupid, bro. He said, I have to. Hey, man, look. We in the building, man. We're in the building. Wipe them feet, y'all. Hit them thumbs up. If you are not subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let's talk a little bit about the game tomorrow, you guys, real fast. We're playing against a Denver Broncos team that has a backup quarterback. We're very familiar with Jarrett Stidham, right? He looked pretty good last week against the Chargers. I believe he had a touchdown, no picks. I think he had about, was he almost 300 yards in the air, somewhere around that? You know what I'm saying? See, and you ate it. This the shit I be talking about. How am I backpedaling, bro? How am I backpedaling? How? Because I'm okay with either one of them. How do you take that as backpedaling, King? See, you strike me as somebody that takes, like, you only rock with people that have one opinion. One opinion. I was the person that said I didn't want Josh McDaniels, but now that he's here, let's root for him. And when he started shitting the bed, I said, get rid of him. Fire his ass. What's the problem? What's the problem? You can't change your tone. Look. It is what it is, man. But the Denver defense is terrible, you guys. Like, our offense has been bad, right? Our offense has been terrible. But this is a chance to go out there and get it done against a very, very bad defense. I mean, you could look at these rankings, you guys. Right now, as a whole, they have the 30th ranked defense, okay? At this point, we're 18th. I believe they give up 371 yards a game. They've given up 43 touchdowns on the defensive side of the football. Their passing defense is not as bad as their run defense. I believe they're 22nd. They give up 233 yards in the air. They're giving up 27 touchdowns in the air. Their rushing defense, pretty bad. They're at the bottom of the league, 31. They give up 137 yards, 137.6 on the ground a game, and they've given up 14 touchdowns also on the ground. Their scoring defense is once again at the bottom of the barrel, 25th, 24.1 points a game given up on the defense side of football. They've given up 43 touchdowns this season. And where are they ranked? I believe in their red zone defense. They're a little better at 22nd. We're 23rd, so we're both right there. 57.1 red zone defense with the Broncos. They're ranked 22nd in the league. Third down defense, they're number 2. Okay, so we've struggled on third downs, especially in short third down situations as of late. But they're the second best third down defense in the NFL, only giving up 31.7 third down rate on the defensive side of the football. So there you have it, man. That is the Denver's defense in their rankings. Salute to John. Yeah, Jacobs is out tomorrow. What do you mean? Zamir about to cook. AP and Frank Reich would be fire. And that's a name that you're going to hear a lot about moving forward, you guys. It's Frank Reich. A guy that, well, I don't know what he wants to do. I don't know if he takes the season off. You know, he was the head coach for the Carolina Panthers. He does have a great offensive mind. That's why Carolina, man, they've been a bad organization for a long time because Frank Reich didn't deserve that shit into the stick. They just drafted, Bryce Young. They have no O-line to protect him. He's running for his life. They have no real weapons on the outside. Their best receiver is at mid 30s, Adam Thielen, which is still playing at a high level. They got young guys and Jonathan Mingo that hasn't been able to develop yet. You know what I'm saying? No run game. They went and paid, their running back $6.5 million a season to shit the bed. At the end of the day, man, Frank Reich did not deserve to lose his job as the head coach. So I don't know, John, if Frank is ready to move on or move back to being a coordinator at this point, or maybe he's going to sit back and say, maybe some organization takes a chance with me as a head coach. I don't think he was deserved to let go. I don't think he deserved to be let go by Carolina. I think that he should have stuck around and allowed himself to build that team a little bit more. But if he is down to go back to being, to calling an offense, bring him on in. I'm cool with that. I am cool with that. But offensively, though, if it's AP, okay, that'd be great. There's no connection there. But I think if Jim Harbaugh ends up being the guy, he's going to look at a Pep Hamilton. He's going to look at a David Shaw. another former Raider guy, another former Stanford guy. I think that if you bring him, I think you're looking at those two options, Pep Hamilton, and you're looking at David Shaw. Salute to my brother DeMarcus, man. Got that Color Rush coffee and convo mug, cold-blooded. Mine's actually on the way, so you'll see mine in the off season a lot more. Salute to my brother DeMarcus. Them white ones, whoo, them shits is filthy, bro. They nasty. They're nasty. Let me see. Everybody keeps saying we better keep AP, but what y'all gonna do if we don't? What you gonna do if we don't? What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do if we don't? Yo. Let me see. Salute to everybody in the building, man. Wipe them feet, y'all. Hit them thumbs up. If you are not subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And, you know, real quick, man, I got to say this. Let me see. You can't say that. You can't say that, Space Beast. Pep was the offensive coordinator just a year ago with the Texans. Shaw was the head coach of Stanford just a year ago. So if being out of the league for or playing getting away from football for 1 year is way too long, I don't know what else to say. Pep was literally the offensive coordinator a year ago. And Shaw was just stepped away from Stanford a year ago. He was the head coach. I mean, goddamn, Space. I mean, shit. John Gruden was gone from the game, and we signed him to a 10-year deal. He was gone for fucking years. 1 year? Yes, Space, I did. And they were a shit show. They were a shit show. It wasn't Pep Hamilton's fault. If you would have kept Pep Hamilton with this team now with C.J. Stroud and all those weapons that they have and all these new draft picks, come on, man. It looked different. You got to go off of what you're afforded to have at your disposal. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, we can't do that. Can't do that. Let me see. Yeah. Jack, facts. The DC from Michigan is really good. Best defense in college. He'll be a head coach soon. And who better to bring on as your defensive coordinator if you do move on from Graham, you know, in AP and those guys? Bring them in. Because once again, Jim Harbaugh can say, you come with me, defensive coordinator. I'm going to get you a head coaching job. I'm going to get you a head coaching job. Watch. Tell you, I wouldn't be shocked if they brought him over. If Harbaugh gets the job. Space says, you got me. I'm just hard no on him. That's cool. That's cool, Space. Salute to Mando, my guy. Doc, you're the GM. Would you trade up for a quarterback, give up the farm? Who is your top 3 quarterbacks next season on or the 53-man roster? Love this show. Salute to my brother Mando. Yes, I'm trading up. Definitely trading up. And if I can, I'm going to get Caleb Williams. Like, I mean, period. That's one of those guys that now people are popping out the woodwork saying he's a system quarterback. I got to disagree with that. I think that he's a generational guy. And if I could, I'm trading up. I'm trading up to go get Caleb Williams. But what does that entail? Does that entail 3 first-rounders, a bunch of second-rounders, and a Colton Miller or something like? I don't know. What do you have to give up in order to do it? That's the big question mark. But I'm giving up the farm. This is the year where you could potentially get a generational guy. And if we sit still at where we are right now, I believe we're at 11 right now. If we lose tomorrow, we could be in the top 10. If we win, we can be anywhere from like 11 to like, I don't know, 13, 14. I don't know. I haven't really paid too much attention to that because at this point our season is technically over, right? But you may be out on a lot of those top guys. We know every year in the draft, there's a run on a position. There's a run on a position every year, even in the later rounds. When we got Ayton, at the time we got him, New Orleans, when they got Fresno State's guy, the Rams, when they got Georgia's guy, and we got Aiden O'Connell back to back, right? This can be a year where you see this quick, fast, and in a hurry. A lot of other teams moving up to try and get some of these top guys. I don't know who's going to be available for us at that point. At that point, maybe there's Bo Nix, maybe there's J.J. McCarthy. I don't know. Maybe all the guys, Michael Penix is off the board. Jaden Daniels off the board. Either way, I think you're going to have to move up regardless, especially if you win tomorrow. If you beat the Broncos, you may have to move up to go get one of those guys. But who are your top 3 quarterbacks next season on or the 53-man roster? So you mean as Raiders, right? Is that who you mean? I mean, Caleb Williams, I think would be the best option. At that point, Michael Penix Jr. and Drake May. I think those are the 3 guys. I think those are the 3 best QBs that I have in this draft. Salute to Philip Bourne, man, my guy. Graphk, we tried the coach-led organization and failed. I need a GM, lead model, picking coach and players. This is AP and Kelly. Let's try it versus the same old mistakes. But this is the thing, Philip. How do we know what Champ Kelly is at this point? He's been an assistant GM. Yeah, right now he's working hand in hand with his guy. But if he gets the job fully and AP gets the job fully, who's to say? We don't know if things change. We don't know if that dynamic changes. These guys are fighting for a job right now. They're fighting for a job. At this point, let's say AP gets the job and then Champ gets it. Who's to say that there's not going to be a little power trip there? Like, hey, I need this. Well, I want this. Who's to say? It all looks good from the outside looking in, right? Yeah, these guys are 1A, 1B right now. They're right next to each other. But who's to say if these guys get the full-time job? Because at that point, they're trying to keep their job. They're trying to maintain their job. You know what I'm saying? Look, if Harbaugh's the guy and Champ Kelly's not the guy, it's going to be Ed Dodds. They have a relationship. They'll be cool. I don't think there's going to be power trip, and I think both guys are going to be able to do what they need to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But we got to stop saying this, you guys. Like, where have you guys heard this? Where have we heard that Jim Harbaugh is this power tripping guy? Where have we heard this? I want to know, like, where did y'all get this information at? Where did it come from? Where? I mean, just give me a link or something that I can go to and check it out. Because I know there's a lot of bullshit and a lot of garbage on the internet, but where have we heard this? Where does this come from? Because from everybody that is close to Jim Harbaugh or people that have been coached by him or other shit, I've never heard that. I've never heard that. And then, yes, Ed Dodds is assistant GM for the Colts right now. Where have we heard this? I don't know. Severe, bro. You're going off of a situation. I've never heard him getting let go by the Niners because of that. The thing was, the Niners thought that they were on the brink of winning a championship, and they were. Three straight NFC championships. He was let go like Gruden the first time. A guy that got you there and just couldn't get it done, and they moved on. But also, his relationship with Trent Bulk was not great, and Bulk was a weirdo anyway. He was a weirdo anyway. So, but there's no real information there. There's no real information there that states that he was a guy that was power tripping. None whatsoever. Even in Michigan, from what I see, he allows his coaches to coach. You know, he's the head coach. He knows who runs shop, but I don't see any power tripping over there. I see him letting his D coordinator call the defense, his offensive coordinator. I don't see it. Y'all got to show me something, please, because I don't know where this shit comes from. Salute to Steve, my guy, on becoming a member. If you guys want to become a member like Steve, hit the link. It's pinned up top. It's one of the best ways to support what we do over here. Salute to my guy, Steve-O. Always, man, my brother. Let me see. I'm still lost. I've never seen nothing of that. The inside OL, except Parham, are free agents. Thank God. Hot take. Raiders have to find replacements for Rodney Hudson and a mauler like Incognito, man. Love your show. Salute to Steve. And this is facts, bro. I think that at this point, you never know, though. He might already be on the roster, Steve. Parham may move over and be that center for the next 10 years, 10 plus years, right? And then at that point, you got to go find your guards. And, I don't know if we have any of those guys on this roster right now. I don't know if they plan on moving Mumford to guard, which can very much happen. Yeah, but this is a great draft class for guards, though, Steve, to build that interior, that offensive line, even the centers. This is a great draft class to need centers and guards. But you're right, though, brother. We definitely got to build those trenches up on the offensive side of the football. Let me see. Let me see. Salute to everybody in the build. I'm just reading some of the comments. Yeah, Top is mad BS about Harbaugh. Mad BS. He said, free Dalton Wagner tomorrow. Salute to Cap once again. I'm like you, Graphk. Okay, I've been alive for all 3 Super Bowl wins. Problem is, I was too damn young to remember. I wasn't. I didn't watch any of them. I actually was born 2 days, 3 days, I think, before the Raiders won in 83, 84. That week that they beat the Redskins, I was born. I never gotten a chance to watch any Super Bowl ever. I was a few days old when we won against the Redskins. It's so bad that I actually count that because I lived here. Because I was alive, right? I don't care if I was a few days old. That's how bad it's been as a Raider fan, you guys. I feel like, I was here for one Super Bowl. I was here for one Super Bowl. That's what I tell people. No one, I'm lying and shit. But I've never seen one. I've never seen one. Never. Salute to my guy Cap, though. OG Raider fan. I'm here for it. Caltown says, don't forget you can draft offense of tackles out of college. And when they come in, you have to start them as guard. Look, man, I'm just saying right now, bro, I'm excited about this class. There's some young guys that can come in from day one and be starters immediately, Caltown. He said, damn, Docs, that makes you a championship, baby. Talk that shit, Chris. Made me feel better about myself, bro. Oh, yeah, Desert, we know this. If Harbaugh's hired, the naysayers will become believers. Let a naysayer know. This is facts. Facts. Facts plus tax. Let me see. Salute to everybody here in the building, man. If Penix beats Michigan and wins, I think Penix will move up to a possible number 2 pick past Caleb, especially if he looks good at the combine. Interesting take, Top. Okay. Omni, I think Dalton Wagner's like 6'9". I think he's bigger than 6'7". You know what? Let me see. I'm gonna look up real quick. Yeah, I think he's 6'9". 6'8". Motherfucker look like a wrestler. Shit's crazy. Yeah, Brave. I told this story a million times, and you've been here for it, right? Like my dad, when I was born, wasn't even at the hospital. He was at a Raiders party. Like he was at a Raider party. Like real talk. Like I was born to be a Raider, bro. Like real shit. Like he was at a Raider party. I was told this story numerous times. You know what I'm saying? By my mother and by other family. Like he was at an actual Raider party. So, you know, I was born into this shit, man. Salute to Rick on a $10 donation. I appreciate you, brother. Why is there even a debate? If Harbaugh wants the job, you have to hire him. Raider Nation will fall in line because we all just want to win. And there you have it. That's the best way to say it, Rick. That's the best way to say it. Salute to my brother, Rick. Factory outlet, my brother. You are correct, sir. Everyone will fall in line once it happens. Factory. Salute to Spivey on a $10 donation. My dog, I appreciate you, brother. Real talk. I saw all 3 Super Bowl wins. Been a fan since 1968, and I'm excited about this offseason. Salute to my brother, Spivey. I'm so jealous, Spive, of people like you that got to truly witness greatness by all those teams, bro. Like, you know, I've been sitting around my whole life waiting to watch the Kings win a championship. It's never happened. You know, waited my whole life. I got to see my A's win one in '89, but I was 5 years old, right? Like I didn't really get a chance. I was very young. I enjoyed it, but the earthquake kind of took everything from it because I had family, you know, that were affected by that. You know what I'm saying? So I remember we cooked the Giants, we swept them, but the earthquake took a lot from that. But I was 5 years old. I never got a chance to watch them win as an adult, and I've never been afforded the opportunity to watch my Raiders win anything. So, you know, man, I'm waiting, brother. I'm waiting. I'm jealous of people like Spivey, man. Let me see. Space, it's so nasty, bro. I was watching the Kings game last night, and I live in Dallas, but I was watching it because I got the YouTube TV shit, and I was watching the Kings game on the Sacramento broadcast, and I kept seeing the Niner because it's local. You know what I'm saying? I kept seeing the Niners playoff tickets for on sale, and I kept hearing Greg Papa say, "Touchdown, San Francisco," and I just kept throwing up in my mouth a little bit, bro. Like that shit's nasty. It's nasty, bro. Like how do you go from selling? Like you could have changed your pitch, bro. You could have changed your whole punchline. You could have came up with something else. You know what I'm saying? But to hear him touchdown, San Francisco, I'm like, bro, you was never a Raider, bro. Like, you know what? That's a guy that we got to take out of once a Raider, always a Raider. He is not. Greg Papa, you, sir, are a dweeb. You, sir, do not respect, you know, the history of what these, you know, that shit's nasty work, bro. And I kept seeing that commercial, every commercial break. That shit was nasty, bro. Nasty. I hated it, bro. Greg Papa, you are bro, you a smooth sellout, brother. Smooth sellout, brother. Nasty, nasty work. I will be doing the game also tomorrow, you guys. Hammer's in Vegas. He won't be able to pull up. I'll be doing the game solo. So if you guys want to pull up on me, I will be covering the game every play. We're going to have some fun, kick it, talk shit. This is the last game of the season. I would love for everybody to pull up, have some fun. Also, you guys, I'm going to be doing my 40th birthday live stream next week, trying to bring in a bunch of new or a bunch of people that has been here since day one, bunch of guests to come on. I will be January 15th doing my 40th live stream birthday extravaganza, man. So make sure you guys pull up on that. Before we get out of here, though, I want to talk a little bit about this game tomorrow. We know that Denver, like we said, has a very, very bad defense, especially against the run. Big games for me tomorrow. I think Aiden has a big game. Surprisingly, I think Aiden puts up about 250 in the air. I'll say 2 touchdowns, no picks. I'm going to go along with Zeus. I think he has a hell of a game. A touchdown, has over 150 on the ground. I think he's going to run all over that Denver defense. Max is still, I believe, like 4 sacks away from Greg Townsend's record. I think it's like 17 and a half. So I'm hoping that Max can have a hell of a game, especially with Stidham. I know he's already saying he's excited to have an opportunity to go get him because that's his guy, and he was vouching for him to be the guy moving forward last season. But I got Max, maybe 2.5 sacks. Malcolm Kuntz leaves on a high note. I got him with a sack tomorrow. We're just doing some hot take, bold takes, you guys, for tomorrow's game. Zeus has a game. Max has a game. Kuntz has a game. And I think Spillane, knowing that he has that one, well, he's going to play hard regardless, but he has one more year left on his deal. I know that he's probably hearing stuff about, you know, him starting off the season so fast and those splash plays. I got Spillane with a hell of a game tomorrow, leading us in tackles and a pick. I think Stidham throws a pick tomorrow. And I got Spillane grabbing one and having a hell of a game for us. I think Jack Jones locks down his side. I don't think you really hear too much of Jack Jones' name tomorrow. I'm cool with that. Also, let me see. I think we get to Stiddy a few times. And an interesting name tomorrow, and I'm why not? I'm going to get a little bold here. It's not really that bold, but I got Marcus Epps with a pick tomorrow. You know, you don't really hear his name too much. You kind of hear him more in the run game. Don't really hear a lot of, you know, his name in the passing game. Not a lot of splash plays. Epps with a pick. Spillane with a pick. Max with 2 sacks, 2.5 sacks. Malcolm Kuntz with 1 more to help, you know, boost his value. He has 1 more year left on his deal, so we'll see him next year. But that's how I got it. I got Zeus with a hell of a game. I think the O-line is going to be all right tomorrow. I think Aiden stays upright. But I got him 250 in the air, 2 tutties in the air, and 1 of them to Trey Tucker and 1 of them to Devontae Adams. There you have it. JJ is not playing tomorrow, you guys. And salute to Cap. Graphk, I'm just like you. I haven't seen any of my teams win a championship since my balls dropped. Just want to support the channel. I appreciate you, Cap, and I thank you for your support, my brother. Hey, all your comments are definitely appreciated, brother. Real talk. Real talk. Salute to you, Cap. Appreciate you, brother. Everybody want to keep doing mock draft. I got to save some for the off season, you guys. I can't just do a mock draft every single day because then it gets played out because you're going to keep hearing a lot of the same names because there's a lot of talent that I'm going to keep looking at because those are my favorite players in the draft. So I don't want to just overly do mock drafts. Maybe we'll get one during the week next week, but I want to get through this game first, and do that before we decide on just doing mock drafts over and over and over again. You know what I mean? So you're going to see a lot of mock drafts. You're going to get to the point for all the ones that are new to the channel. You're going to see so many mock drafts this offseason from us. You're going to see so many different scenarios. We're going to be drafting from the mind of Jim Harbaugh. We're going to be drafting from the mind of Antonio Pierce, Champ Kelly, Ed Dodds. We're going to be doing so many different, different things. Just stay tuned for that. But yeah, man. Other than that content. Salute to my dog Mondo with that Talk That Shit t-shirt on too, my brother. I appreciate you, King. Salute to my guy. Nah, bro. I thought it was it's Greg Townsend. Why does everybody keep saying Derek Burgess? I thought Greg Townsend has it. It's 17 sacks, 17 and a half, right? Right? Man, before we get out of here, I'm gonna look this up, man. It's Greg Townsend. I could have swore it was him. He has the most career sacks, 107 and a half. I'm looking right now. So, man, why did everybody say 17 and a half? Yeah, it's Burgess. It is Burgess. So Greg Townsend owns the record of all time, but I thought he had 17 and a half. Back then they had one last game too. No, but I'm still trying to figure that out. I thought that it was Greg Townsend that had 17 and a half. Well, either way, Space, if it's 16, Max can go off tomorrow and grab that title. Facts. M85, man. Salute to you, my brother. Appreciate you. Birthday shout outs. Mine's is today. Everybody in the chat, man, on the way out, let our brother know. M85, man, happy birthday, man. Happy birthday to you, brother. Enjoy your day, man. Enjoy your day. Max 15 or 13 and a half this year. Okay. Johnny, man, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. 2.5 sacks Max needs. Okay. I mean, he can get that. He can get that tomorrow. Hey, with McGlinchey out at right tackle, Max could have a field day tomorrow and get into a quarterback that he's very familiar with. And Stidham, it can happen. It can happen. Yo, Rico is stupid, bro. Yo. Renfro's going off tomorrow. 5 fumbles. Why are you doing third and Renfro like that, bro? Why are you doing our guy Renfro like that, bro? Nasty work in these streets, bro. That shit is hilarious, bro. Hilarious. Salute to the chat, man. Once again, appreciate you guys as always. Let me get the hell out of here. I will see you guys, if not tonight, tomorrow. Matter of fact, I'm going to hit up Stu and see if he'll do the game with me tomorrow. But we will be covering the game tomorrow live, watch party. So make sure you tune in with us and come watch the game. We're gonna have a field day. Yo, Top says, yo, Docs, who long do you think it will be after Sunday that Mark makes his decision? I think it's gonna be a little longer because there's only other teams are probably gonna have to go out and start shuffling quick, fast, and in a hurry because they have to figure shit out. We already have one person in our building. And Jim Harbaugh, there's only a certain amount of teams that he may look at. It's probably us. It's the Chargers, right? There's only a few teams that Jim Harbaugh will probably be interested in. So you don't really have to rush to go hire Jim Harbaugh. And you don't have to rush to hire AP because he has one situation. You know what I'm saying? But we have to go through the Rooney Rule thing. We have to make sure we bring in other people, to interview and so on and so forth. We have to go through this whole process. But I don't think it's going to take, it may take, it may take a week, maybe take 2 weeks, may take longer than that. I don't know yet because Mark understands the severity of this situation. If he's going to bring in Jim Harbaugh, he has to make sure it's the right situation for him. If he wants to keep AP, he has to make sure that he's not a prisoner of the moment and just doing it just to appease the nation and the fan base because of right now. It's a little. Think about this thing here, man. We're all over here losing our minds over this situation. Could you imagine what Mark Davis is doing? He's probably behind the scenes like, damn, bro, this is a big decision. You know what I mean? So, but salute to everybody here in the building, man. Once again, love you. Appreciate you guys. On the way out, wipe them feet, hit them thumbs up. You already know what time it is, man. I'll be back soon. Hit that subscribe button. What'sInWhiskey.com. Go get you some whiskey. OakLosVegas.com. Go grab you some merch in any given Sunday sauce. Go grab some OLV hot sauce. Love y'all. I'm out.
That's what I'm talking about.